Hello! Welcome back to my channel. This is Logo Lagalag. Magre-reaction na naman tayo. Ito ay galing kay Bizarre Bob. Pangalawa ko na to kay Bizarre Bob. Yung isang reaction ko, maganda yung views niya. 4.1K yung kanyang views. So, titingnan natin kung tuloy-tuloy pa natin, kung pagpapatuloy pa natin to, at titingnan ko kung maganda yung views niya. At the same time, tingnan niyo uli yung aking background, pulang-pula ulit. So, kung gusto niyo to, sisimulan na natin to, at sisimulan ko na ngayon. Yun. Go. Magtakotan tayo ngayon dito. Takotan na!
25. A small family rents out an Airbnb for a few days, unaware that they would encounter something very unsettling while staying there. They had booked the place in advance for an upcoming wedding that was out of town, so staying here made sense. But one night, after coming back from walking their dog, this happens.
We were just out walking.
Ito, tatlo sila. Tatlong magkakapatid. Sila yung parang nag-arkila sila ng hotel or matutuluyan or Airbnb na hotel, no? And then, sa part na yon, hindi ko pa lang kung anong mangyayari. Then, tingnan natin.
My dog. And when we came in, we heard. Jesus Christ.
Yung aso, no, bigla na lang tumigil dun sa hagdan. Hindi ko alam kung bakit. Baka meron siyang nararamdaman. Takot naman nun. Tatakot ako sa anong yun, ha? Sa tunog na yun, ha? Lobo gumagalaw. Pwede namang gumagalaw siya kasi may hangin. Kasi galing doon sa bintana yung hangin. Uy! Gulat ako dun, ha?
Grinch!
Utang ina, ha?
Somehow, the leash on her dog's collar suddenly jolts up in a quick motion before wrapping itself around her dog. It just flings up as if someone had chucked it upwards, but clearly, no one is seen on the stairs to have done that, which is very odd considering that just moments ago, this was heard.
Takot ako dun, ha?
Now, Sydney, who recorded this video, was just as baffled as the Airbnb host who received this video from her. But this wouldn't be the only video she sends, because the next day, while placing the leash on the stairs to see if it would jump again,
Yung lace, nakita niyo yung lace, tumaas siya. Paano nangyari yun? Di ba? Palagay mo ba gagawin ng tao? Kasi lang sila eh, nag-arkila lang sila ng matutuluyan eh. And then suddenly ganun ang mangyayari. Maggagawa ka ng isang kwento para lang dito. So I think meron talaga ditong nagpapakita or nagpaparamdam.
this is captured.
Okay, so this is the leash.
Sinubukan niya ulit, baka mangyari uli yung
There she goes again.
Gano'n na naman yung aso.
But she's definitely
Hanggang doon lang talaga siya. Hindi siya umaakyat.
every single day.
Although the leash doesn't move this time, her dog goes ahead and does this. For some reason, it's at the same time the leash is on the steps that her dog begins to search for something. But like before, nothing appears to be there. Sydney even checks the rug to see if anything on or under it was making her dog behave this way. But still, nothing. However, there's something in this video that's worth pointing out, and it's a detail that appears in other videos that Sydney recorded of her dog. Watch closely.
So I wanted to show you guys some footage of my dog with these stairs. So here's another clip that I got of her doing it. Walk over and see her, and she was so locked into this.
Now, if you didn't notice, in each
See? Tingnan niyo yung aso talaga. Doon lang talaga siya pumupwesto. Kung anong baitang nung hagdan, doon lang talaga siya napwesto. Hindi natin alam kung ano yung nangyayari doon sa aso or kung anong meron doon sa hagdan.
video, Sydney's dog is always around a certain area of the stairs. It's always the middle or lower half of the steps, but never the top. If it wasn't for this detail, Sydney would not have realized this.
So I think I figured out why my dog just is always hanging out right here. So I just found a door back here. So I don't think that it's what's on the stairs. I tried to check, but the door is locked. Obviously it's an Airbnb.
Pwede dito nasa loob.
Yeah, I don't think that it's what's on the stairs like what I initially thought. I think it's what's below.
Considering that the space is on the ground, it explains why her dog is never seen on top. She seems to be sensing something that's in this room. But the question is, what exactly is she sensing? Wanting to find out, Sydney and her sister probe around the space to see what it might be that's inside. But during this moment, while recording, they capture this.
So this is the switch. You guys can see the light is on right there. I wonder if
Titingnan niyo sa loob. Uy.
just maybe there's something right behind the door.
Ito ay... okay. Tingnan... Ay, putang ina mo.
Oh my god.
Almost immediately after Sydney pulls out her phone, the doorknob suddenly turns. Although no one was seen on the other side, the door
Yung
handle moves
doorknob.
as if held from the other end.
Yung doorknob pumihit.
Now Sydney was under the impression that a person had turned the knob, so they reach out to the Airbnb host and ask if anyone else is renting the place.
Sent the video to the landlord of the Airbnb, and hold on, let me turn asking like, hey, is there someone else renting it out as well as us or what? Because basically
Hindi yata ako makakatira sa ganyan. Na may nagpaparamdam. Tapos... ay, nako.
he was like, no, you guys are the only ones that are in the Airbnb right now, like booked out for the week.
After finding out that no one else is inside, Sydney concludes that what happened that night wasn't a case of someone co-renting the house, but rather another paranormal occurrence. To her, this is much preferable over having a stranger inside the house. But despite being at ease now, knowing that it's not a person, the doorknob incident still baffles her. This is so, especially given that it still moves now and then.
Scary. Okay.
Shit.
Okay, every time we've knocked before,
Yoko ng ganito. Pag...
doorknob would turn a little bit.
Hindi ako titira dyan. Hindi talaga ako titira dyan. Hindi talaga ako titira dyan. Tangina. Kahit mura pa yan. Noy. Nakakatakot ka naman ate. Hey, putang... Oh, nangyayari dyan? Nalaglag? Sa hagdan? Ano nangyari?
As it turns out, this room was
Yung phone, di ba, nasa ano, sahig na yung pinto, sahig, tapos sinulusot niya yung phone niya doon sa pinto. So, ang nangyari doon, parang ang nangyari, may humila doon sa phone hanggang sa magano doon sa mahulog doon sa hagdan. And then suddenly, wala namang gumagalaw. And then, yung camera, humarap dun sa may phone. Humarap dun sa may pinto. So, nakakatakot
actually a basement. Out of nowhere, the phone gets yanked inside before tumbling down the steps and landing on its face. But it's before it tumbles that something weird happens. If you didn't notice, the phone moves on its own again before falling down. But of course, the strangest part is when the phone somehow lifts itself. Neither Sydney nor the Airbnb host could explain this. It just rises up before falling back with no footsteps around to suggest that someone was there. It's no wonder why many see this as being paranormal. To Sydney and her sister, that's exactly the case. Whatever had been inside did not seem to like their intrusion. From the leash moving on its own to the phone being pulled inside, it currently remains unknown as to what exactly occurred here. But as with all videos, you be the judge on whether or not something supernatural took place. As always, let me know your thoughts on this one.
Grabe naman si ate. Number 5.
Now, the following
Number
video was
5.
recorded by a grandmother who lives alone with her dog and 2 cats. However, it appears that her pets aren't the only ones keeping her company, because according to her, there's something in her house that won't leave her alone.
В зеркале
Ba naman
было
yan?
отражение чего-то не очень непонятного. Была на видео. Я вам
Ito, matanda na to Baka sabihin natin, scripted to. Hindi to scripted.
всем докажу. Я вам
According to Polina, last night she recorded a video of something that appeared in her bedroom. It showed up in the same spot where it often appears around the mirror.
Yun, salamin na naman Yung last video ko, may salamin na naman ngayon. May salamin na naman din.
She's been trying to get it on camera as her family believes it's nothing. They believe it's her old age that's making her see things. But after watching this video, they're not so sure now if that's the case. Take a look.
Уходи отсюда. Я тебя не боюсь. Уходи отсюда. Уходи из моего дома. Уходи. Я тебя не боюсь.
Pinaalis niya. Ganyan naman talaga dapat Kailangan talaga malakas ang loob mo. At the same time, huwag kang talaga matatakot. Pero, di Nakakatakot talaga
Уходи отсюда.
Gumagalaw. Gumagalaw
Uходи
yung
отсюда.
Putingin ng imes.
Я тебя не боюсь. Уходи.
Pero ako yung turn off yung pangbuhay nung ilaw. Yung lawit niya or yung pinakatali niya lumiko. Tangina.
Уходи, я сказала. Уходи отсюда. Уходи. Я тебя не боюсь.
After Polina realizes that
Tama,
what she'd seen
makikita niyo.
wasn't there, she catches sight of this, a dangling ornament beneath the lamp, moving on its own. However, it wasn't just swaying back and forth as one would expect, it was curving
Tangina, sabihin yung scripted yan. Hindi ako maniniwala scripted yan.
upwards in a strange manner that neither a draft or wind current could cause. Now, whatever happened that night is something that remains uncertain. In either case, whether paranormal or not, just seeing this out of nowhere is unsettling. But one night, Polina decides to record again because apparently she saw the same figure hiding inside her fireplace. Take a look.
Yung saan? Medyo malabo hindi ko lang makita. Saan yung part na yun? Where? Hindi ko makita.
Like something out of a nightmare, what looks like a head suddenly appears in the fireplace.
Oo nga.
And the freakiest part is that it shows itself right
You
when
know?
Polina starts to get close. It's as if whatever this was had realized she was approaching. Understandably, she was freaked out by this, but more so after going back to the space and seeing the fireplace completely empty now. Like before, what she saw initially is now gone. Now currently, no new videos have been shared by Polina, whether supernatural or something else. These two clips are without a doubt pretty terrifying.
Okay. Whew. Kaya ko pa ba? Kaya ko ba mag-reaction ng ganito? Number four.
Now the following video comes from a young mother named
Ayan na naman, bata na naman, shit. Basta bata talaga, lapitin yan. Lapitin ng mga nagpaparamdam.
Akina, and ever since having her first child, she's been posting numerous videos of her baby boy. It's her first child, so it makes sense that she would want to capture every moment involving her son Ponko. From the time he was born to the moment he got his first playpen, Akina has been sharing lots of memories involving Ponko on her page. However, not every moment has been shared online, and for good reason. On January 29th of 2024, at around 2:30 in the
Medyo
morning,
malabo lang,
Akina
ah.
was dead asleep when she suddenly woke up to something in her bedroom. Thankfully, little Ponko was unaware of what was happening because during this moment, something pretty frightening happened. The following is what was caught. Take a look.
Uy, bumukas ang pinto. Bumukas ang pinto. Hmm. Hmm. Uy! Oh. Shit. Ay, nako. Wait lang. Ay, nako. Takot ako dun, ha. Takot ako dun. Ay, nako. Takot ako dun. Balik tayo dun, no? Nawala ako.
It's no wonder why Akina didn't want to share this video initially. Now, besides the fact that the door opens and closes all by itself, there's something Akina mentions that makes this whole video even more terrifying. According to her, at this moment, she had seen a figure standing at the doorway which looked a lot like her husband. But the weird part about this is that her husband had not come home from work yet. It was only a few hours before he came back, but strangely, to Akina, he was there, just staring at her from a distance. Now clearly, no one is there. However, if you listen closely to the audio, you can hear Akina's security alarm going off as though
Ang ano kasi dito, parang ano siya, parang doppelganger yung sa yung kanyang husband. So akala nung babae, bakit bumalik ka agad? So doon siya nagtaka. Bakit bumalik ka agad? Akala niya siguro yung nagbukas ng pinto is yung kanyang husband.
someone entered the house. It's for this reason she leaves the room to turn it off and to chase her husband, who was walking away at this point. But it's from this moment that things start to get creepier, because not long after, Akina acts strange. From standing motionless at the door to quickly coming in and sitting down in a rigid manner, it's almost as if Akina was someone else. But as it turns out, she was just scared, because after heading downstairs to see where her husband had gone, she saw that all the lights were still off and the door still locked. Her husband, as it seems, was not home yet. Freaked out, she heads back up and sits down while trying to figure out what just
Di ba kanina nagbukas yung pinto? Nagbukas yung pinto. So akala nung babae talaga is yung husband niya.
happened. If he wasn't home, then who was? She continues to replay this moment in her head despite occurring a while ago, but until it's figured out what happened, she'll continue to keep this video up on her page while sharing more videos of her son. For now, this occurrence remains a mystery. In this next video, a mother had recently shared a clip that freaked her out after noticing what was in it. One day, while looking at her security cameras, Adrian Dakota notices something inside her living room, but more specifically, around her child's playpen. She wasn't sure as to what she was seeing, so she zooms in and replays the video to check. It goes without saying, but what she saw
Bata na naman, oh. Nakatakot talaga pag bata.
continues to keep her up at night. Now, it's important to note that before this incident, Adrian had already been documenting strange things around her house, and for some reason, these occurrences had something to do with her children's toys.
Nabuhay yung
Now, it
toys.
might be easy to write this off as being just a glitch or a toy that's starting to malfunction, but what's strange is that this was happening.
Pero naman kasing mga toys talaga na parang nagma-malfunction. Like, meron kami dito parang isang brick games. Pagka nakakalog or nagagalaw siya, nabubuhay siyang kusang nabubuhay.
Day after day, one toy turning on after another. And that's without mentioning that during this time, Adrian's daughter had an imaginary friend who she said was very tall. Now keep this imaginary friend in mind, because this detail becomes important much later in the video she recently posted. The reason why she was so freaked out by the toys turning on was because prior to this, her daughter kept mentioning this imaginary friend. And apparently, this so-called friend would show up in places where her daughter said it was, usually inside the house near the toys. Adrian was so frightened by this, but more so by this video, because according to her, while taking care of her second child in another room, something terrifying appears in her living room. This is what she caught.
Tangina mo. Ay, ano yun? Ay, aso. Aso yun. Aso. Oh. Aso.
To Adrian, it appears that someone or something peeks out from behind her baby's playpen. Thankfully, her child wasn't in there during this moment. But strangely, even though no baby was
Aso yun.
occupying it, the figure itself looks like one. Whether it's just
Aso yan,
pareidolia
pero
or not,
yung
it's
naghagis
obvious that
doon-
something is there. Consider
Nahagis dito, I think nagpaparamdam, multong nagpaparamdam yun. Pero yung nandun sa may kuna, aso yun.
that a bowl just fell off the shelf with no apparent cause, Adrian can't help but wonder if whatever this was had been responsible for the other occurrences before. It is strange how each occurrence involves one of her children's things. Whether it's their toys or their small play enclosure, something unexplainable happens around them. This, of course, brings up the question, could this have been the supposed imaginary friend her daughter had previously mentioned? Or might this be something else entirely? Currently, and unfortunately, there is yet to be a definitive answer to this question. Now, the following video was submitted to me by Ariane B, who writes that she took this video during a school field trip to the Philippines. It was 2010 when she recorded this, so understandably, the quality isn't that good.
Itong mga video to, parang ano na to, parang mga 2000, 2010, 2013, 2015, or 2017. Ang pangit pa kasi ng ng resolution niya eh.
But despite being filmed on a cheap cell phone, she
Pati yung cellphone, no? Parang 6610 yata yun ang Nokia
was
eh.
able to capture something pretty noticeable on camera. And of course, what she notices is pretty creepy. According to her, she was taking a tour of an old fortress where many soldiers had lost their lives. This
Saan to?
fortress is known as Fort Mills,
Parang
and the
dito sa
section of
Pilipinas
this
yun,
fort
ah.
that Ariane was touring is known as Battery Grubs, a section where both Filipino and American soldiers had
Oo
sacrificed
nga, dito nga. Corregidor Island. Corregidor Island to.
their lives while defending against invading forces in 1942. While touring Battery Grubs,
Sa mga hindi pa nakakaalam, yung Corregidor Island is sobrang ganda. Sobrang gandang puntahan. Sa mga tawag dito, ghost hunting or exploring, ghost exploration. Ang gandang puntahan nito.
Ariane captures this.
Eh, play. Oh, meron oh. Tapos Rino, tara na sa Corridor Island. Sarap ba
Now, it's
dito
been 15 years
magbukbang?
since this video was taken, and Ariane hadn't realized what was captured until rewatching this footage recently. On the upper level of this barrack, there appears to be something moving, but it doesn't look like a tourist who was just wandering. Rather, it looks like a moving blurb that disappears in an instant. Now, of course, given the camera's low quality, this might have just been a camera artifact, or in other words, a visual glitch. But it's worth noting that this only appears once throughout the entire video.
Masarap puntahan niyang pagkagabi. Sarap niyang puntahan.
Never again do we see anything like this afterward, suggesting that maybe this wasn't the camera acting up,
Mga mga
but instead
Mga
something that was
panyo na
actually
malalaki.
there. As
Tawag yan
Ariane
na
believes,
artillery.
this blurb was most likely the spirit of one of the soldiers who passed away during battle here. Perhaps this is them still living out the same scenario that played out during 1942, unaware that they're no longer alive. It's a sad thought, but nevertheless, this footage creeps out Ariane.
malamang dyan sa Corregidor Island, marami talaga nagpapakita dyan. Kasi ang daming namatay na Pilipino at saka Amerikano dyan sa Corregidor Island. So, hindi natin alam kung gaano karami. Pero, as in, sobrang dami niyan.
So then, just what exactly was caught on camera at this fort?
Yung sinasabi nga, yung Corregidor Island is a first defense yan ng Pilipinas tsaka Amerikano. Ng Pilipinas at tsaka American. First defense yan. So parang ang ano niyan ay nasa may Bataan, Corridor Island. So, yun.
If you caught something creepy on camera, or if there's any ghost videos you'd like me to check out and include in the next compilation, you can send them over to scaryvideos444@gmail.com. That being said, let's get back to the video.
Oh, number one na. Number one.
Now, it's often the case that videos on the paranormal take place inside a home. It's usually the setting that makes small disturbances feel twice as scary, but the same can be said for any place where something that shouldn't occur happens. Such is the case in this next video, where a group of Philippine students had caught something on camera inside an empty restroom, but as you'll see, it definitely wasn't. Take a look.
Uy. Saan to? Sa CR? Marami nagpapakita dyan. Uy. Oh, saan yan? Saan? Ay, putangin na mo.
Out of nowhere, the sound of a child crying emanates from inside the restroom. But the thing is, they're nowhere to be seen. The only thing that is seen are the empty stalls where just moments ago, the door to one of them began to open on its own. But even without seeing this, the voice alone is pretty unnerving. It's enough to make anyone just run away. Now, very little info is available on this clip, but what was captured is just one instance of something supernatural that occurred here. This school is said to be haunted. So then, was a ghost
Sa school pala to.
was caught on camera, or had something else been captured? Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Also, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe and make sure to hit the bell icon so you don't miss any uploads in the future. Also, be sure to
Grabe talaga to si Bizarre Bob na to. Kung kumuha ng mga video, no? Nagko-compile kasi siya ng video. So, nakakatakot talaga. Napapamura ka talaga sa takot. Grabe. Pinagpapawisan ako dito kahit malamig, ha? Putang inang yan. Ay, nako. So, yun lang, no? Kung gusto niyo bang mapanood yung Bizarre Bob ng mga iba't ibang video na ano niya. So, tagal na kasi nito eh. So, ngayon ko lang talaga rin nakita to eh. Itong Bizarre Bob na to eh. So, napakarami na niyang compilation na video na in-upload. So, tingnan niyo na lang sa kanyang website or dun sa kanyang, tawag dito, sa YouTube channel. So, yun lang. Bye-bye. Wait lang pala, hindi pa pala. So, sana maganda ang videos na to. Sana maraming manood. Sana maraming maka-experience ng ganitong bagay. So, dapat, sana hindi ako maka-experience ng ganong mga bagay na yun. So, ako naman ay matatakotin din. So, nakakilabot din talaga pagka ikaw lang mag-isa ang nanonood. Tapos patay pa ang ilaw, meron kang background na ganito. Sos Maria ka. Alam mo yun, nakakatakot talaga. Parang hindi ako makakatulog mamaya. Anong yan. Sige na. Dito na lang ako kay Bizarre Bob. Maraming salamat. At the same time, maraming salamat sa inyo. Bye-bye!